joint in Alabama, from what I've heard.
I don't know, but I do like barbecue, that's for sure.
What is your favorite Alabama barbecue?
Dreamland.
Okay.
How do you handle that? I mean, all that going on, there's a lot of rumors and stuff that you talked about with Alabama and the offensive coordinator. What was that experience that month, I guess, for you?
Right, you know, I mean, it wasn't really much of anything. You know, Coach Saban contacted me. He wanted to visit about what we do offensively. He liked a lot of things we did, you know, especially prepping for Clemson, and I liked a lot of stuff they do offensively, and just an opportunity to go down there and talk ball for a couple hours, and then I hit the road and went to go see my family. So, you know, really wasn't much more than that. He knew my commitment to Notre Dame, and, you know, it was a good opportunity to sit there and talk some ball after the rough 2 weeks we had, so, you know, and then we just moved forward from that.
Sometimes the quarterbacks here, when you guys start spring practice, have the spring break, they come back, they like to go do something on your own. Are either Ian or Phil doing that, and do you encourage that, or you kind of leave it up to them?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of leave it up to them. You know, they've been with those guys for a while. You know, I'm not sure Ian and Phil are doing that. But, you know, anytime they get out there and throw the ball around, I have no problem with that. They're going to do, you know, obviously what we coach them to do. But, you know, I do want them going out and throwing the ball this next couple of days on their break, just so they come back ready to go. And timing as good as it possibly can. But, you know, I really don't have a problem with that at all.
What's the next level for Ian look like? You feel?
Yeah, I mean, we all got to get a lot better. But, you know, it's his next time where he is the guy. You know, better command of the offense, consistency versus pressure and defeating pressure, more confidence, you know, attacking down the middle of the field, his deep balls, and just his all-around game and his leadership. You know, that's one thing I think he's done a really nice job, is just taking command of that offense and turning it loose. You know, a big thing I challenged him this spring was, you know, challenge, test the offense, right? Make throws that you probably wouldn't have made because I might have been mad putting the ball in jeopardy. You know, we had to do to win games last year, so he's doing that. Obviously, he's not being careless with the ball. We don't want to do that, but, you know, I don't care to see a check down. I want him to try to throw the whole shot and, you know, keep working our 50-50 balls with our guys and give them a chance to make plays. He's doing a nice job of that.
What are you looking for from Jacoby here at Group 15 practice?
You know, just confidence in the offense, going out there, kind of in the same spot Ian was when I first got here. You know, being a capable backup, and that takes time. I think he's done a nice job. He's way better than he was, you know, in August when he came in and did it. He's way more confident. You know, he's a confident young man. He's gonna test it. You know, and when I kind of talk to Ian, I tell Phil earmuffs, because some things I'm telling Ian I don't want Phil to hear. And but he's a confident guy, and I like it. And you know, he wants to be a great quarterback, but just the little things every day, just taking small steps, getting, you know, taking command of the offense, make sure guys are getting lined up, you know, going through your progression, all the things that a young quarterback needs to do, and just keep building confidence in himself and the players around him getting confidence in him, you know, in case he has to go out there and play.
What went into the decision to move Patterson from left tackle to center? Kind of, I mean, generally speaking, is somewhat of an unusual move.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, Jared was one of our best players, one of our best linemen last year. You know, if he had to go in a game, I would have, you know, no concerns with him. You know, he's a young man, very athletic, very mature for his young age, kind of like how Robert Hainsey was when he first got here. Now, Robert was here in January, but Jared's the guy that, you know, the best compliment you can give a player is the same person every day. No matter what's going on in his life, same person, same effort, same intensity, and a guy who's going to will himself to be a good player, whether it's a position change or something he's never done before. And, you know, and putting him in there, you know, we are 6'4" plus across the board. We look like a big, powerful offensive line the way I want it to be. And just having him there, a stable player, you know, gives me a lot of confidence moving forward with the rest of the guys.
What are the greatest challenges he's facing here so far?
You know, just learning the offense, snapping and stepping the right foot. You know, first day of pass, not launching the ball because you're trying to come off and caveman somebody. Just getting comfortable in that position, making the calls, and running the show. And the more he does that, you know, we take all 15 practices, but, you know, he keeps getting better every day. He never really makes a step backwards. That's what I really love about that kid.
As a, second semester freshman, how capable is he of making calls?
Very capable. You know, like I said, he's been in that room, and he's a conscientious guy. And, you know, I was really impressed just with his ability to, you know, because we asked the center to do certain things in our run game that just are kind of unorthodox, just working vertical just because of the track in the back, and he naturally was able to do that, understood it. You go and, hey, this corrections, yeah, I got to do that, coach. And just the way he can communicate with you tells you he's on top of it.
Pretty rare for a freshman.
Very rare, very rare. He's a special player, special player.
Coach, on the lost Boykin from the perimeter, how have the younger players, including Michael Young, Kevin Austin, and the guys you had in redshirt last year?
Yeah, very, very impressed with those guys. You know, when we get back from the bowl game, I always tell our guys our offense starts in the weight room. And I always try to be that base #1 GA. And those guys, the way they've transformed their bodies has been awesome. Those young wideouts, Michael Young, I think Michael's up to a little over 190 and hasn't lost a step. You know, and just that added armor helps you get off press. You know, it's going to help Miles take his game to another level. Chris Fink take his game to another level. And, you know, just seeing Lawrence Keys, Braden Lindsey's had 3 probably better days of anybody out there, him and Brock Wright. And just seeing that progression this early tells you these guys are going to be ready to play at the end of fall camp to me.
For Chase Claypool, what do you envision for him as his next step? But Miles Boykin made such huge leaps from his end of junior year to senior year, and obviously Claypool had more time than Boykin even had in his final year.
You know, I really don't talk numbers with Chase because if Chase is focused, he's going to dominate. And that's where he is right now. Him and Chris Fink, the focus in that room is as good as I've ever been around in a receiving group top to bottom. And it's awesome. You know, the first time since I've been here, and I'll finish your question, you know, we've always had those alpha leaders from Quentin and Mike when we first got here, Sam and Alex. And this time, every position group has a great leader in it for the first time since I've been here. And that's when I always tell our guys, you know, if we're going to have any consistency in the last 3 years, it has to be that leadership. And what kind of identity is this offense going to have? What kind of sacrifice are they going to have? And to see Chase, you know, great example. He had to take a test, missed half of practice, comes out there, catches 3 balls in a row. You know, in the past, he has just been so flustered with everything that's going on. You know, he probably wouldn't have had a great practice. But when that young man is focused and the speed he's playing at right now is really exciting.
You mentioned Brock Wright and stuff. He lost 10 pounds. Was probably something you wanted from him. What can he kind of evolve?
Right. I mean, Brock is strong as an ox, you know, but being 260 and now 248 has been a huge difference for him. The way he's moving, you know, and it's year 3 for him too. So he's confident in the offense. He's not having to think what foot do I step with. He's just going. And, you know, he's been the surprise right now for us, and really proud of him.
What are you expecting from Komet? I mean, there's, you know, pretty big hole left.
Right, I'm expecting to start getting some wins for the baseball team. That's what I expect. But, you know, Cole's a freak athlete. You know, he's once in a lifetime guy you get to coach. He comes right off the baseball field or gets in at 3 in the morning, and he's right in the weight room. Like, he hadn't skipped a beat. Comes on the football field. He's another one with Brock. It's year 3, and they're both extremely confident, flying around. I mean, he seems a lot faster now, especially since he doesn't have 20 pounds of tape on his ankle anymore. But just a confidence that you expect for veteran guys at this point. It's, you know, it's exciting to see just a standard. I'm not having to teach guys how to practice anymore. They're going.
I mean, just in terms of as a pass receiver, what is Komet's ceiling?
I mean, it's just whatever he wants it to be, kind of like Chase, you know. Obviously, we always got to work on his fundamentals and stuff, but with his speed and size, he should absolutely dominate the middle of the field. And, you know, they were doing that. None of them were just breaking any tackles last year, so I kind of got away from it a little bit. And that's been their #1 emphasis. The amount of yards we left out there last year is absolutely embarrassing. So being able to get yards after contact is probably one of our #1 emphasis in offense. We have to be explosive. You know, we had 2 plays over 50 yards last year when we went to the college football playoffs. That's very rare. I mean, the year before we averaged that a series, you know. So we need to take the explosiveness of 17 with the efficiency of 18 and how we were on 3rd downs and just our ability to move the ball and the grit we had. But we need to be an explosive offense. You know, I don't think last year we really scared anybody. You know, there was a couple of games, I guess our physicality showed up, but not consistent. Very consistent, and we weren't explosive. You know, and that caught up to us.
Chip, what's your impression of the running backs? And What's your chemistry been like with Lance Taylor?
Oh, it's been great. You know, I've known Lance for a long time. We never worked together, but he's a very focused, serious coach, and those players have done a great job adapting. It's the most serious that group's been since I've been here. Tony Jones, Jafar, you know, just the focus and intensity they're bringing to practice has been great. Like I said, each group now has that, and that's been, you know, a great thing for me to see moving forward. And they're helping those young guys come on, and you know, they're doing in 3 days. They're very impressive today, and you know, Tony and Jafar, they played a lot. Both have great ball skills. You know, you turn on our cut-ups, Tony Jones shows up about as much as anybody, making big plays out of the backfield, catching the ball. And, you know, and it's just his focus and his grind when he gets his mind right, which he does right now. He's a really good football player.
What are your early impressions of Kyron been?
Yeah, I love Kyron. He's going to be, I mean, he is a very, you know, like a lot of those early freshmen, extremely focused. You know, the game's not too big for him. Yeah, he's learning and all that, but, you know, he doesn't really make the same mistake twice, which is great. But a tough, gritty kid with great ball skills, good speed, good savvy to him. Gets the game, probably because he was a good defensive player too as well. So, you know, big picture, he does a really nice job. And yeah, he's gonna make some mistakes here and there, but like I said, he learns pretty quick and he can communicate really well for a guy who should be worried about homeroom right now.
Is Jafar like just sort of a practice player, the work ethic side of things?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's awesome. He loves to practice. He loves to play. He's done a great job in the weight room. I mean, he has to put on 5 to 8 pounds. I mean, he's a big man out there running, and but great energy, you know, and he can go. He can go. And it's one thing we probably just have to monitor a little bit because we kind of just thought that was him last year, and I don't know if it was the wear and tear or injuries or just first time getting banged around like that. But it's exciting to see him be as focused as he normally is, and to see Tony with that as well has been great to see, to be honest with you.
Follow about Eric's question about Lance. I was curious, like when you're out of practice, what are you watching, looking for to see like, okay, these guys are responding to Lance, or in meeting rooms? So that, like,
Yeah, you know, when coaches tells one of them, they snap around and look him in the eyes and take his coach instead of just walking off and doing their own thing or having some kind of emotional breakdown or anything like that, you know, and that's great, just the command that Lance has and, you know, and the insight and stuff he's brought with us, the stuff they did with Christian and stuff he did with the Panthers has been great, and just another set of eyes to kind of see what we're doing and ways we can improve. It's been a you know, great added value to me.
Coach Kelly mentioned Trevor Ullin has some physical setbacks that he could be maybe in a utility role for you guys.
Right.
But I'm curious about Josh Love, who last year I think at times he was repping with the ones in the spring. What his development has been.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see it today. Today was the first day in pads. You can't really tell when they're in helmets. You know, Josh is a very conscientious kid, very focused. You know, it's year 3. He needs to go do it. And I'll have a better idea after today. But he's a big man in there and very strong. You know, I think he's just a lot of confidence and just going out there and doing it. As most young O-linemen, you know, fight early on. But it's year 3 now, and we need him to come on strong to give us options and give us, you know, possible rotation throughout the year, which I like to do.
Is he able? We've seen it in both spots. Is he able to rep fairly consistently at tackle and guard? Is there be more comfortable?
Well, we're trying to leave him at guard in the spring. You know, I know what he can do at tackle. You know, so I'm trying to give him an opportunity to get good at something right now, and give him the best opportunity to show what he can do and be confident with it. When you start moving guys, you know, it can slow him down a little bit. Obviously, when we get in fall camp, later in fall camp, we'll do a rep him for emergencies, but him and Tommy. But you know, I'm really interested to see what today looked like from him.
Now that Eichenberg has a full year under his belt as a starter, in your mind, what is the next step in his evolution?
Just his confidence, just to come off the ball and let's absolutely destroy somebody. It was too tentative at times last year, just, you know, just because he's another conscious kid that just does not want to make a mistake. And you got to go. You got to go. This is your, you know, second year to start. I expect to have a legit big-time left tackle with your size and ability. We need to get better movement on the left side. It can't just be the right.
Is that a matter of just there was uncertainty as to what his
A little bit.
responsibility was? Or
Yeah. Just tentativeness, you know, like every young player going out there for the first time. You know, and just more consistency in his approach and his ability to execute at a high level, game in and game out.
How about Banks? I mean, similar questions. He didn't start as many games, but he's obviously.
Banks doesn't have a problem with confidence. He's going. I mean, he makes mistakes. Sorry, coach. You know, but he's gonna get after somebody too. You know, it's just getting him back out there. He's moving around way better now. So it's gonna be exciting to get him back out there. But he's a big, powerful man that loves to play and very conscientious, like all that whole group is. And so I'm really excited to see you here too with Aaron Banks.
Has Easy become the, I mean, we had a chance to talk to him the other day, you kind of got the impression that this is a guy that's really stepping forward as a competent leader.
Yeah, you know, like, I don't know who I was talking to, but, you know, going through all our cut-ups that we do after the season, you know, a player from the first game to the last game might have been our best player on offense was Robert Hainsey. Just the way he executed game in and game out, and the level of consistency he played was outstanding. And, you know, he's a confident young man too. You can see that in the way he's leading, the way Tommy's leading with the weight loss he's had and the way he's playing right now. You know, we don't necessarily have an alpha, but we have a lot of good leaders and good workers in that group, which is, you know, as good as just having one guy.
Complete conversation, the whole line. Kramer, was that an emphasis with you guys that he needed to drop some weight?
Yeah, he did. He had to move better. You know, I like to pull our guys, and we were not very good last year, and we're not going to lose that part of our offense. And if he wanted to be a guy, he needed to do it so he can pull and pull with power. And you just see a much more confident guy out there. He's stronger, you know, another off season in the weight room, and just the way he's bouncing around out there is way better than he was, you know, probably a year when I guess he struggled a little bit when we put Trevor in there. So it's been a great move for him.